so no error. And Schulte to the plate. Ooh, take it right down the chute for a strike. It's 0-1.
What happens if the ball accidentally touches you on the throw?
Throw hits you as a base runner?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Try to keep running.
Just keep playing.
It's ouchie, but keep playing.
It happens a lot. Oh, I've lost internet again. This is really fun. Grounded foul. Another 1-2. That's drilled into left field. Caught by the left fielder, L7. And one away.
Left field, number 4.
London Fiorella now.
Fiorella.
Called strike one. Fiorella popped out while we were gone, so sorry about that. It might be a better idea to just stay with the Heart Network. YouTube might not be the place to be today. One and two on Van Lanker. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 in. Up the middle off the pitcher's glove. Fouch heading to home. Another bobble by the center fielder prevents any threat of an out there. And it's 5-1. The center fielder can really throw. And Fouch is being sent the whole way. So again, no error, but she didn't give herself a chance with that bobble. Riley Slycord. That misses down, 1-0. Grounded, softly to short. They flip to third. Got her. FC. We go to the top of the fourth. Pioneers up 5-1.
For the Pioneers in the bottom of the third, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, 2 runners left. And after 3 complete innings, Pioneers lead 5-1. bases, number 4, Abby Archer.
Inning 4 enter.
Right.
Popped up to Cordelia Hanger, 1 away. We're trying to figure out the scoreboard here.
We gotta start over.
I'm at softball. Text mom.
Second base, number 18, Maya Durr.
Maya Durr with 1 out. Taken for a ball, 1-0. Start with the count first, 1-0. And 1 out. Called strike.
Hey, sorry, 1. And then inning 2.
1 ball, 1 strike. Time is called.
And
I'm streaming in 1080. That's the problem.
Zero for them and 3 for us.
Called strike 3. 2 outs.
And now it's inning 4 enter, yeah.
First base, number 36, Kennedy LaDuff.
Kennedy LaDuff. 2 outs and nobody on.
It's 3 for them. And
Called strike 1.
strike 1.
Called.
There you go.
The 1-2. Line to second. Nice snag from Kelly Stokes. Show you that again.
For the Pride in the top of the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and after 3.5 innings.
And then I'm going to be right back. I'll be right back. I need to fix this. Is anything happening on YouTube at all?
Leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Pioneers, designated player number 7, KK Bayless.
KK Bayless leads off the bottom of the 4th. Pioneers lead 5-1. I'm MNU Sports Information Director Chad Jenkins. Misses down, 1-0. KK bunted into a double play her first time up. She's 0 for 1. And that misses, 2-0. What's going on with YouTube? No. That misses in, 3-0 to KK. Here we go. Deb Carpenter can see it. Thank you, Deb. I see it's working now. 4-pitch walk to KK to lead off the 4th inning. Back to the top of the order, Cordelia Hanger.
Number 19, Cordelia Hanger.
C money, money, C money, money, A. And that misses up. 2-0, 6 straight to start the 4th inning. For Beck, they're saying 2 in a row. They should be saying 6 in a row, 6 in a row. Bunted. That's going to be a base hit. They have no chance. She's so fast, she's safe. Hey.
Right field number 6, Nia Brown.
There's a hawk flying over us. And we got a new pitcher, number 8. Number 8 is Sydney Haas. Reminds me of the Clarke great basketball players, Haasi. But there's no E at the end of this one. Congrats, by the way, to Clarke women's basketball, national champions. I've always really liked that team. They play us tough. We actually beat them this year. It's kind of our signature win. Beat them early in the year, and then they win it all. It's like, yeah, we were pretty good. Anyway, Sydney Haas is 0-1. This is her 8th appearance. She has a start. She has a 4.31 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 22 hits, 3 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .361 against her. Coming into a tough spot here. First and second, nobody out for the Thumpers in the middle of the Pioneer order. Brown, Fouch, and Stokes, barring any shenanigans with double plays and whatnot. Ooh, that was nasty. Nia Brown takes a strike. Kind of a filthy drop ball is what that looked like from Haas. Nia Brown's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Grounded softly down the third base line. No balls, 2 strikes to Brown. Misses away, 1-2. Misses up. Count evens at 2. Sydney Haas dancing to the dugout rhythms of way too high, way too high. She's like, yeah, I like it. That's popped up. Infield fly again. And a big out from Haas, one at third base.
Shortstop, number 11, Morgan Fouch.
Fouch is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Takes strike 1.
Oh, it's a strike?
Anna has a history with this umpire. My GA doing the stats, yelling at umpires. 1-1.
I just thought it was too low. Just, I'm busy. Please believe, sorry.
They both work, but disbelief is a better word. You're right. Good job. Ooh, just misses up. I like the way this catcher fires the ball back to the pitcher. Little Pudge Rodriguez action. That was nasty. Haas looks like she's got some good stuff. Fouch, 1 for 2. Full count. I only have, well, there's 1 out. Okay, let's fix that. That's drilled into left center field and deep. That's down and up against the fence. KK scores. Hanger heads to third. Fouch pulls into second with a double, and it is 6-1 Pioneers.
Second base, number 20, Kelly Stokes.
Stokes is 0 for 2. That's drilled into right center field. Each runner moves up. 7-1. And 2 down on the sacrifice fly.
Third base, number 17, Abby Schulte.
Abby Schulte now. First pitch grounded to short, handled. And we go to the 5th, up by 6 at MNUsports.com.
Leading off the top of the 5th for the Pride, right fielder, number 19, Oakley Harmon.
Oakley Harmon leads off the top of the 5th. She is 1 for 13 on the year, hitting .077. Misses up, 2-0. Called strike. Leadoff walk. Burlage being a little too fine with that at bat, it seems like, and you're up by 6. Leah Gray hitting .250, 5 doubles, 4 homers, leads the team. Grounded to short, that went right through. Fouch was headed towards second, and then the ground ball went to the other side.
Center field number 10, Lily King.
Back to the top of the order. Lily King hitting .389. Bunted to the pitcher. And beats it out. Burlage isn't super quick with her release overhand. I think she should fire it underhand, you know. And bases loaded, nobody out. We got a situation here.
Number 23, Elizabeth Leverton.
So the DP, Elizabeth Leverton now. Bases loaded, nobody out, 6-run game. And she's a slapper, so it's kind of advantage Pioneers here because you can take the ball and go to the nearest base. You don't have to worry about her speed at the plate. Swing at the miss, swing and a miss as she took a full cut, not a slapper cut. I like it. Clarke Pride out of Dubuque, Iowa. Their head coach recovering from what I've heard is a double lung transplant. So get well soon, coach. Holy cow. That's quite a thing. Fouled towards my car, but it will never hit it. And I think I even heard it's his second. Grounded to first, second, double play. Wow, that's huge. Sorry, not grounded, L4. What is happening? We can take the result of the play, right? If it's out of the box, did he call her out of the box? Okay, we take the result of the play. I think the umpire called her, stepped out of the box, so she's automatically out, which negates the play unless it's an advantage to the defense, and you can take the result of the play, which we obviously did. It would be really interesting if the umpire said, hey, would you rather have second and third 2 outs or bases loaded 1 out? And the defense said, yeah, we'll take the bases loaded. Yeah, so I don't understand why there's even a question. Little fisted into shallow left, but Fiorella's right there. Pioneers get out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out. A few pitches later, the threat is averted. So yeah, 2 double lung transplants for this coach. That is unbelievable.
And after 4.5 innings,
that's got to be scary. If we score 2 runs in the bottom of this inning, the game will end. Yes, I just got that question. So yeah, Coach, if you're watching from
Mayo.
Minnesota, Mayo Clinic
Rochester, Minnesota.
in Rochester, I've heard. I didn't know that was where it was.
I was there all summer.
Get well soon. That is horrifying.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they do some good work up there at Mayo. She's stuck. She's so dumb she's stuck. Hey.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth for the Pioneers, left field number 4, London Fiorella.
My GA just got her foot stuck in the press box slats. So she's free though. She got out of it. No worries. London Fiorella now, the bottom of the fifth, takes ball 1. Second inning of work from Sydney Haas. Fiorella takes a strike. It's 1-1. Have I gone through Fiorella's numbers yet? I think I did. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes the ball 2-1. Fiorella hitting .356, 6 doubles, a homer, 12 RBIs. Tapped foul at the plate. Tapped foul, we'll do it again. I'm feeling a homer. I'm feeling it. They don't give me a chance. Allie Van Lanker.
Catcher number 25, Allie Van Lanker.
She is 1 for 1 with an RBI and a walk. Drilled the Clarke bus on a few bounces. It went through the new construction over there. I love new construction. It makes me very happy. See if camera 3 can see any of it. Yeah, you can see those gray metal beams behind Coach Joe Flevis. When Jen Felvis was interviewed for her Heart Interview Day, there's third base coach. The guy says, "We're here with Joe Flevis." Uh-oh. Ooh. She's like, Jen Felvis. It's like, yeah, close enough. Joe Flevis. Anyway, those metal beams behind her are the frame for a new batting cage for softball. The 1-2. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. What did the umpire just do? Anybody else see that?
First base number 28, Riley Slycord.
I think the umpire just made a mistake. We'll see. It ultimately doesn't matter, but hold on. Ball 1-2, Riley Slycord. Swing and a miss. All right. So swing and a miss and a catch. The umpire says foul tip, safe, and then calls her out. Swing and a miss. So first base was occupied. So if he's calling a drop third strike, then she should be out immediately. And it shouldn't have been a drop third strike anyway because it was a foul tip into the catcher's glove. So if he's calling a dropped third strike on a foul tip, that's popped up. Dropped and safe. So E6. If he's saying that that ball hit the dirt and should have been a drop third situation, it was a foul tip, so she should have been still in the box. So that's my, look at this play here.
Designated player
Foul tip
7,
in the
J.K.
dirt,
Bayless.
tip, foul tip, safe, and then out. I think that's incorrect. I do think she caught it in the air, so she's out, but I don't think that sequence was accurate from the umpire. Pinch running for Riley Slycourt at first. That's the winning run, by the way, with one out, is Brooklyn Newberry.
Running at first base for the Pioneers, number 23, Brooklyn Newberry.
7-1, KK Bayless. She is 0 for 1 with a walk. And that misses. So just for fun, if we walk this game off in this inning here, stick around. I have something to say at the end of this game. Especially if it happens here. That's into center field. Caught, no advance. And now that brings up the leadoff batter, Cordelia Hanger.
Center field, number 19, Cordelia Hanger.
See if you can get Maddie Brooks to the other side of the opening. That would be much better, I think. You know what I mean? There's a pole here. Get the camera over here on this pole. Somewhere else then. It's bunted foul.
The superstitions that they have. No, we cannot change it because that's what I always do.
Well, move, like, get it up against the pole then, you know? Get out there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hanger. This is up, 2-1. Hanger is 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored, a walk, and 2 stolen bases. Already had a big game. 3-1. Ooh, taken for ball 4. The bases are loaded. Winning run is in scoring position. Nia Brown can walk this thing off. Don't hit it to center, though. That girl can really chuck it.
Nia Brown.
Little flare. Caught by the pitcher. And the game continues. Re-enter Riley Slycourt.
For the Pioneers in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, No
You know,
hits.
I'm going to say what I've
Right,
got to
error,
say
3
right
runners
now anyway.
left. And
I'll get
after
going.
4.5 innings, correction, after 5 complete
Ultimately,
innings, Pioneers lead
my purpose
7
in
to
life is to glorify God, right? I'm a Christian. I represent a Christian university, and it is the main part of my life is my faith. And I fail constantly at that goal to glorify God all the time in what I do. There's a verse that says, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. And so we try to live our lives like that, but we fail constantly because we're imperfect morons. But I do try to be mindful of that purpose every day. I do this job because I like it and I'm good at it, and I feel a sense of accomplishment after a good broadcast, but I also try to keep in mind that these are my talents and I should be using them to glorify God.
Clarke. Left field, number 16.
Last year against Clarke, I failed
Holtown.
in that mission, and I'll tell that story here throughout this inning as Holtom takes the ball. It's 1-0. The whole point of me telling this story is that there are two sides to everything. When we talk about the political rhetoric and the divide in this country these days, the mudslinging, the Twitter feuds and whatnot, misrepresenting each other's sides of the story happens all the time. Even like when your friend is telling a story and they embellish and get it wrong, how often do you hear that? How often does that happen? Like even stories where I was a part of it and my friend tells the story and then he tells 2 or 3 big embellishments and I'm like, that's not what happened. You don't have to lie. So the point in retelling this story is that happened in a big way. Is it's popped a second one away. Every story we tell, we try to make ourselves the hero, right? So there's always embellishments.
Catcher number 4, Abby Archer.
Now, if you know what I'm talking about from last year, if you want to fill in any of the gaps, go for it on YouTube. I'd love to hear the other side of it, because I never did talk to anybody from Clarke. So if you have some first-hand knowledge of any of the gaps of this story, go ahead and put it in the chat and we can fill it in. So last year, this doubleheader happened in the midst of a long day for me. I set up, we had baseball and softball that day. So I spent the morning setting up softball. I set up baseball for the broadcasts and all the computers and all that. It's a huge undertaking. Grounded to short, Fouch. 2 down. I set up softball, went over to set up baseball, and then they had a game. And I did that game. I called it on the play-by-play and did the cameras and the stats and all that.
Maya Durr.
As Maya Durr steps in. That misses ball 1. So after game 1 at baseball, I came over here as other people took over those duties, and I started the Clarke MNU doubleheader. I was really tired. I didn't have a lot of positive energy. That misses 2-0. I wasn't in a very fun mood like I usually am for these games. Most of the time we have a good time on these broadcasts, right? I've got a few people that regularly chat on YouTube. I hear from parents all the time, hey, thanks for doing the broadcast. Really appreciate it. It's fun, all that stuff. 3-0. So game 1 last year was really an uninteresting broadcast when it came down to it. I didn't get off the rails. I didn't have any crazy stories. I just told the story of the game as it happened. And then afterwards, I got word from one of our parents. Yikes, 2-out walk. I come down from my perch up here, and one of the parents says, hey, I was watching the game behind the Clarke fans, and they are hearing from somebody who's watching the game that they're hearing inappropriate things up in the press box. I was like, what, really? Did I leave the mic on and someone said something between innings? What could possibly have gone wrong? That misses up. Check on the runner at first. So that's odd. I didn't say anything interesting, let alone inappropriate. But, you know, maybe somebody from the crowd had said something and the mic picked it up. I literally had no clue what could have possibly been said. But then, by the time game 2 came around, I kind of forgot about it. Wasn't worried about it. And then in game 2, I did say something interesting and controversial. It was meant as a joke, but it didn't land very well. I'll say it in a second. Swing and a miss, 2-2. One of the Clarke players hit a foul ball right by the third base coach's head, and he barely moved and just kind of was really cool. He's standing there and just whoop, moved out of the way of it like it was no big deal. Most people would have ducked and fallen, and, you know, that's a little flare into shallow left field. Fiorella on a hop. Base hit, and there are 2 base runners with 2 outs. Nice diving effort from Fiorella, but it hit the ground first. Now, last year's doubleheader for Clarke wasn't going very well, right? The Pioneers, I think they won game 1 in 5 innings, and it wasn't going well again in game 2. And so I made the joke. First of all, I said, wow, the coach was really cool. He really got out of the way of that one. As number 6 is pinch hitting. That is Emma Hodnett hitting .269, 7 for 26, a double, a triple, and 3 RBIs. So, wow, the coach just really was cool getting out of the way of that foul ball. He wasn't worried about it at all. And then, like an idiot, I said, you know, the way these games are going, he may have wanted to lean into that one. You know what I mean? Now, I didn't mean that he deserved to get hit by a foul ball or that I wanted him injured. I was just saying, I used to be a coach too, and I had some rough days as a coach as well. And I was like, boy, you know, one of those days where it's like, oh, somebody kill me, you know. Called strike. Now he's a much better coach than I was, and he would never think that. So that's one problem I had. But after the game ended, misses in 1-1, 2-1. One for 36. That is Harley Macue Vasconcellos. Vasconcellos. Okay.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Where was I? Oh, so I made that comment, and I was just being silly, and I'd forgotten about that by the next inning as well.
For Clarke, number 1, Harley Macue Vasconcellos.
Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. This is up 3-1. So after the game, the coach came up and he had on his phone a bunch of texts from somebody who'd been watching at home. I didn't see what the text said, but it was a long thread. That's all I could tell. Little pop on the infield. Brown Fields flips to Slycord, and we get out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth, up 7-1. I'll continue this meandering story. And so he's like, "Are you the broadcaster?" And I said, "Yeah, I heard that somebody was upset with some things that were heard up here." And we got into it. But that's not the point of the story. All right, we've since patched things up. We're fine.
And after 5.5 innings, Pioneers 7.
I kept trying to figure out what was heard by the fans other than the foul ball comment. Now, the foul ball comment came midway through game 2, so there were complaints leading up to that. If you happen to know what was heard before the foul ball comment, which was conceded, I've conceded that was not great. The games are on YouTube. I went back and watched both games in their entirety that night, and I'm like, what could possibly have been whined about? And I couldn't find it. I don't want to dwell on the part of the story with the coach. I just want to offer a possible explanation, because we did get a complaint later that may shed some light on what happened, and then that's the whole point of this story, is that's grounded foul by Fouch. It's 0-1.
6 for the Pioneers. Shortstop, number 11, Morgan Fouch.
One of the fans I'm going to figure out how to say this. 0-1 to Fouch. Called strike 2. No, I got it. No, I got it. Little tap towards second. Is that the... Yeah, Durr makes the play. 1 away. And that brings up Kelly Stokes.
Second base, number 20, Kelly Stokes.
Called strike. So the email to my boss, by the way, that's hammered foul. The wind is trying to hold it up, but no dice. It's 0-2. One of the emails was totally bizarre. It said something like, here's the 0-2, misses way outside. It said, "To my disgust, I find out that your crew showed me on camera and proceeded to make fun of me. They were not using very appropriate language. I'm completely outraged and disgusted. I hope punishment is in order, and I will be emailing the NAIA about this." Slash down the line, fair ball. Kelly Stokes reaches with a hit, and the winning run comes to the plate in Abby Schulte. So I tried to email this person to find out what was happening and never got a response. So, but here's the truth of what happened there. You can check the video. It's on YouTube. The truth is literally the opposite of what was claimed. And that's kind of the point of this. And then I have a finishing comment as well. There was zero inappropriate language. And I complimented this person on the broadcast. Swing and a miss. I did not mock him. So how was that so wildly misconstrued as to warrant an email to my boss to try to get me in trouble? Swing and a miss. Okay, here we go. We've got this on YouTube. Someone has a comment. Great. Okay. Popped up. So that was it. Talking about, here's the comment on YouTube. You were talking about a parent and what they were wearing. Sounded like you were talking down about the parent. Well, the opposite of that is what's the truth. You can look it up in last year's game. It's fairly early. I think it's before the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The parent was wearing a loud outfit, I'll say. That's down the left field line, foul. And I said, that is sweet. I said, look at this guy, sweet. And there was no hint of sarcasm. There was no hint of mocking. It was a literal compliment. And then the people got texts from somebody watching at home saying that I was making fun of somebody and using inappropriate language. So that's drilled into deep center field up against the fence. Fouch makes the turn, not Fouch, Stokes makes the turn, heads to third. And that is a 1-out rocket double from Schulte. He wasn't coming to me. And winning run is at second with 1 out for Fiorella. Okay, let's keep it.
Left field number 4. London.
So that's what I've speculated. Eventually, I speculated that somebody watching from home misheard or misconstrued something, and everything went crazy. So then the guy heard from this person that we were making fun of him and took that as gospel and did not investigate further. And then I got strike. Yeah, I got it. That misses up. 2-1. So the problem here is twofold. Whoever was watching that and then told on me and texted people that it was inappropriate has some serious discernment issues. Fouled back. There's no other way to put that. If you hear mocking when it's literal praise, then there's really nothing I can do. The second issue is that misses, 3-2. Full count, 1 out. The second issue is that the first version of the story was believed immediately. Fouled away, we'll do it again. And it went unscrutinized. Some people get offended when their story is scrutinized, but it doesn't happen enough if you ask me. Grounded. Fair ball. 1 run scores. I don't know what happened. Was there any interference with the fielder? Doesn't seem like it. Let's have a look. I don't know what to call that. I'm going to call it a hit for now. Third baseman just couldn't get to it, really. I'm calling it a hit. Does that make sense? I can't really sell anything else. Single. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, no one did anything wrong. It's not an error. All right, so 8-1. We got to stop believing people's one-sided stories is my ultimate point of this. My kids will come to me with like, my teacher yelled at me today and I wasn't even doing anything. You notice that, the classic kid story? It's like, really? Your teacher literally yelled at you? Yelled? And for no reason? No parent with even a shred of discernment believes their child's story like that. So when someone hears, hey, they're making fun of you on the broadcast and saying inappropriate things, called strike one. Sounds legit. No further questions? I mean, that seems ridiculous to me. The 0-1. Grounded foul, 0-2. They're making fun of you on the broadcast, saying inappropriate things. No further questions. Time to email the boss. And the same person that contacted that person and told them about the inappropriate comments probably texted the coach the same thing. And so the coach comes off of a doubleheader sweep. That hit Van Lanker, bases loaded. So the coach was already in a negative space after a doubleheader loss. He looks at his phone, he sees messages about this idiot broadcaster, and then the final text is actually sort of true. So there's some truth to the story. So he looks at his phone and says, wow, they thought you should get hit with a foul ball. Swing and a miss, strike one. You got a kid freaking out somewhere. I can't tell where he is. Whose? So the coach can come over and he's got a legit gripe. Grounded, foul. So he can assume that the other complaints that he got earlier in his text threads are true as well. So he's just got this whole text thread of, wow, they're saying inappropriate things. They're making fun of our fans. They want you to get hit with a foul ball. So here's 2 points. We got to stop doing that. And we got to start recognizing and scrutinizing ridiculous stories. It's going to end up being most stories. And number 2, back to the beginning of my rant here, I try to glorify God in all that I do, right? So while I intended zero disrespect with the foul ball comment, I concede that that comment did nothing to glorify God, and for that I apologize. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, winning run at third, Clarke takes ball 1. So I've been thinking about that for a year. It happened on April 1st of last year. Kind of stuck out, right? Being an April Fool's Day, and then this ridiculous situation happened. So it's liberating that I can finally get that out of my head, because it was a really baffling situation for me. And it's over now. So onward and upward. Into center field. Tagging. Here comes Schulte. Here comes the throw. Pioneers win. Sac fly from Riley Clarke ends it 9-1. And we'll be back for game 2 in about 25 minutes. Love you.